Boy, big news happening out of the NBA today. Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the top 5 players in the NBA currently, wants out of Milwaukee. It's breaking news. It happened this morning, and I just been researching and doing a little extra news. So basically, Giannis is open to leave Milwaukee because they haven't won anything. And this is a fun fact. Since 2021, the Milwaukee Bucks have not gotten out of the first round. Let me repeat that again. Since 2021, the Milwaukee Bucks have not gotten out of the first round. 2022, didn't get out the first round. 2023, didn't get out the first round. 2024, Dame got hurt. Giannis got hurt, and then he was out. Now 2025, Giannis is out. Now Giannis is in. Dame turns Achilles. Boop, he gone. And then one time, it was Jimmy Butler who sent their ass packing, but Giannis did miss some time in that, and that was a 2023 year. So it's just been a whole bunch of mess ever since then. So Giannis is tired of going home in the first round. And he's already been on edge about them if you go back a few years after the way they lost to Jimmy Butler in that 2023 playoffs when he smoked them and sent them home in 5 games, and playoff Jimmy went absolute crazy on them. They had to overreact, and they traded for Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, who was an excellent scorer, one of the top 75 players of all time, one of the best players of this generation, one of the greatest scorers, one of the greatest shooters of this generation. They overreacted and traded. And at the same time, much as I love Dame Lillard, he's one of the worst defenders I've ever seen in NBA history. For as great as an offensive player he is trash defensively. And I mean Trash, 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 trash. That's how much he's trash as a defender. So now when it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks, where do you go from here? You don't own any of your first round picks for the next 5 years. So you're going to want first round picks. And you're also going to want ready-made players right now who it can instantly contribute. But if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, if you trade Giannis, you might as well effing rebuild. Dame Lillard's coming off of a torn Achilles. You're not going to just be able to trade him to anybody. And it's going to be there's a question mark if he's even going to come back to the Dame that we all know and love. Brook Lopez, gonna let his old ass walk. Man can't guard a baby stroller. That's just what it is. He's slow. He reminds me of an older Marc Gasol when he signed with my Lakers. He was old, slow, couldn't guard a snail. I had a lot move faster than him. 40 speed was probably like a damn five flat, if not worse. It's time, bro. It's time. And he's getting exposed in the pick and roll situations. It's time to move on from him. This isn't the Brook Lopez of 2021. And at this point, he's just a spot-up shooter. He doesn't even play with his back to the basket. But that's all I understand that's the way they want him to play. But it's just not it. Bobby Portis is a guy you do need to keep. But if you're going to blow this up and you're going to trade Giannis, you might as well trade Bobby Portis too. You can get some draft picks out of Bobby Portis because the Milwaukee Bucks, it's time to rebuild. Because there's nothing they can do. They're basically approaching the second apron as far as salary cap. You can't trade for players because you have no draft capital, no first-round picks, or any second-round picks. And you have Damian Lillard, who's one of the greatest superstars in the game today, an aging superstar at that, coming off of a torn Achilles. It's only so much you can do. And at this point, the Milwaukee Bucks have just run out of options. They just have. They had a spectacular 2021 season. I still believe if Brian, Goat James don't get hurt, him and AD stay healthy, that team basically can go repeat and go win another championship. But it didn't happen. We all know that, hey, they ran into a Chris Paul team that did have a 2-0 lead on them in that finals. Chris Paul ended up getting hurt, I believe. I think it was a hamstring or something like that. Either him or Devin Booker. It was one of this. I can't really remember. I think it was Devin Booker. And they just wasn't the same, and they blew that 2-0 lead. And they won the first 2 in Phoenix, went back to Milwaukee. We all know what happened after that. And the series was over in 6. Literally, Giannis dropped a 50-piece on them in Game 6 and sent their ass to Cancun, even though it was a COVID type of timing. Still sent their ass to vacation. So since then, they have not been able to get out of the first round. And this is sad. This is embarrassing. Because if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you have a top 5 player right now, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's in the prime of his career. And there's been teams who have been linked him, like the Golden State Warriors. Now, say if they do go home, you know what's going to end up happening. Jimmy Butler, Steph, and Giannis are going to be on that team. Draymond's going to be gone. Kuminga's going to be gone because you have to make all the salaries work at the end of the day and fit underneath the second apron. Only problem is now, we've seen the big threes in the NBA don't work, even though that would be a different big three because Steph can play off the ball. But still, I don't think they need to go that route of Giannis Antetokounmpo. But there are going to be suitors for Giannis Antetokounmpo. The New York Knicks are one of the suitors for Giannis Antetokounmpo. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, you're probably going to be on the bus getting shipped out to go get Giannis. Or if it's not you, it's probably going to be Karl Anthony Towns may get shipped off to Milwaukee, the Los Angeles Lakers, my Lakers. Do I want Giannis on the Lakers? Hell no, because that means you're going to have just GOAT James, Luka, and Giannis. Two guys who don't really play defense. LeBron did play defense past postseason, but we all know Luka couldn't guard an 80-year-old grandmother. He just couldn't. All the blow-bys he was allowing. Excellent score, but can't do shit on the defensive end. GOAT James is going to be GOAT James, but he really prioritizes offense now at this point in his career instead of playing defense, because if he's going to give you defense on one end of the floor, don't expect a lot of offense from him on the other side of the floor. The man is 40, finna be 41. So Giannis is the only guy that can really play the two-way on both ends of the court, but Giannis is really a rim protector, not a guy that's going to guard the perimeter. So I don't think the best fit for Giannis is to come to LA. And I'm not going to lie, the LA taxes are crazy. I'm talking about the state tax. Literally, I seen it was one post about Kawhi Leonard was making over, I think he made like 44 mil or something like that, 46 or whatever. The man only took home $22 million after taxes. Now, you bring your ass to Texas, which is going to be my next team in the San Antonio Spurs. Oh, yeah, tax-free state, baby. Even though I don't want them to go to the Spurs, but hey, the Spurs have a lot. And I mean a lot they can give up. They got draft picks they can get up, either first or second pick you're choosing. It's like either choosing cheesecake or strawberry cake, which one you want. Then you turn around, you can give up young guys that they got on their team, and then you're going to have a dominating big three of De'Aaron Fox, who is one of the best point guards we have in the game today, who can low-key in transitions, one of the best point guards. He can shoot. He can take you to the rim. There's no weakness in this game offensively. Then you got Victor Wembanyama. He come back healthy from the blood clot situation. A rim protecting shooting big man who basically can play with his back to the basket, can hit the three, hit the mid range, and is probably not the best rim protecting big man in the game today. You add that with Giannis, you know what y'all smell? I smell NBA championship. But the only problem is now, Giannis is on a max contract. De'Aaron Fox is on a max contract as well. Victor Wembanyama is on a rookie contract, but I'm pretty sure he's going to want that max contract as well. So they're going to be three guys you're going to have on a max contract. So if the Spurs did trade for Giannis, this is a 2-year window that they need to get a championship as much as possible before they fall into that second April. And that's a 2-year window, not 1, 2 years, because Victor Wembanyama is going to want a new contract extension within the next 2 years. So this is going to be very important, because then when you do sign him, you're obviously not going to trade Giannis. I mean, hell, you may trade De'Aaron Fox, but I mean, you could be looking like I said, the next Tim Duncan, David Robinson duo. Now that is going to be a duo that is going to wreck the front court, and you ain't getting nothing in there. You might as well stick to shooting perimeter jump shots. But the San Antonio Spurs, to me, are the favorite to land Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Golden State Warriors are in the mix, but like I said, they do have to trade Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga, and other role players just to make the salaries work, because you're going to have 3 guys on your team making over $100 million. Literally. So that means you're going to have to just fill out your roster with a bunch of scrubs and scraps, and you're going to have to dig into the trash can and get some empty soda cans. That's basically what you're going to have to do. The Los Angeles Lakers, same thing. Luka's going to be on a max contract. LeBron said he ain't taking no discount. And Giannis going to come over on a max contract. Not doing no big three with that. I don't even think that big three will work, because Giannis needs the ball. Luka needs the ball. I've seen LeBron play off the ball a lot more, so he can play off the ball. But Luka needs the ball, and he's going to be the number one option. I don't think Giannis would be a good fit. And the fool can't shoot. He can shoot. He's gotten better. He's gotten better as far as the mid-range and the three. But his release is still slow. So, nah, I'm cool on that. So the Lakers are in the mix. The Warriors in the mix. I believe the Spurs are the favorite. The Knicks could also be in the mix as well, because Giannis wants to go to a big market team. That's no secret. If y'all been paying attention to the situation, Giannis has been wanting to go to a big city market. And the 3 big city markets, of course, LA, Knicks, Golden State. Three big cities. Now, watch out for other teams as well. Probably a team like the New Orleans Pelicans that could come in and try to swoop in the mix. Teams with draft capital, teams with good players that are already like either all-star level or a little bit or less than an all-star level. The Milwaukee Bucks are going to want that. Because if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, what direction do you go? Because if you do trade Giannis, that's your franchise you're letting walk out that door, and you're not getting equal compensation for that. But you do have to start somewhere. Because like I said, for the next 5 years, they don't even have a draft pick to their name. 2031 to be exact. Hell, who knows where we're all going to be in 2031? So they don't have that. Then on top of it, like I said, you got an aging superstar in Damian Lillard who's coming off a torn Achilles. Kyle Kuzma had just as many points as I did, or just all of us really. 0 points. I mean, hell, shit, we can do that on the NBA level. And then on top of that, then it gets even worse. The role players are just getting older. Besides Bobby Portis, Gary Trent Jr. ain't it. Taurean Prince, thank you Lakers for getting rid of his ass. He ain't it. They just don't have the role players, aging superstars, and they have no draft capital. It's time to go ahead and just blow this up and trade everybody that you can trade, and John's gonna get the draft capital. The only problem is though, Giannis saved this franchise because if you've been watching the Milwaukee Bucks before Giannis over the past 2 decades, they've been horrible. They've been garbage. They've been trash. They had the era of Ray Allen for a little bit. He was one of the best two guards in the game at that time. Took him to a deep postseason run, and then after he went to Seattle SuperSonics, then you had the era of Brandon Jennings, and then Monte Ellis came along with that. Brandon Jennings first it was Monte, he left. Brandon Jennings left. I think they left around the same time, and then basically they drafted Giannis Antetokounmpo around that time that Brandon Jennings and Monte Ellis was gone, and then basically Giannis Antetokounmpo was a project. Literally, he was a project. Nobody expected to get the Giannis that we're getting right now, of a 30 and 10 guy with 2 blocks a night and a defensive player of the year and an MVP. Nobody expected. They was hoping it, but they wasn't expecting it. So if you let Giannis walk out that door, who are you gonna sign? You're gonna have to draft somebody, just like you did Giannis, because Milwaukee is a small market team. And who in the hell said, man, hey man, let's go to Milwaukee? No disrespect to Milwaukee, but let's just go to Milwaukee for a summer vacation. Nobody's saying that shit. They're just not. So you don't have an appealing spot for NBA free agents to come to your team. Giannis is a loyal guy, and he loves Milwaukee because they drafted him and they gave him an opportunity. But the man wants to win at the end of the day. He's 30 years old. He's in the prime of his career, and he wants to take full advantage of it, and I understand it. He did right by Milwaukee. He got him a championship. He's even stayed, and they've tried their best to make the man happy. But it just hasn't worked out. The Doc Rivers situation, he makes no team better. And yet again, he goes home in the first round, hasn't won a championship since 2008. Damn it, I was in middle school at that time, teenager around that time. So yet again, another failure. But just him and Dame are just not fit, bro. It just has not worked out. That was supposed to be a dominating duo in the pick and roll situation, especially as great as Giannis is as a roller and how he can dunk on people's heads. It just hasn't fit. It's a your turn, my turn, your turn. Hey, I'm going to go ISO, you going to go ISO. You know what? Let me do the step by 3 by Dame. You know what, Giannis? Let me put my head to the rim and just go to the rack. It works sometimes, but that's not equivalent to winning a championship. So now the Milwaukee Bucks are in a sticky situation. Damian Lillard, you basically have to wait. Because most likely, you trade Giannis, you're trading Dame. The problem is where you trading Dame to off that contract and that torn Achilles. You better hope he comes back to be that prolific 27 points a game scorer. Because the thing is, Dame doesn't really use a lot of his athleticism. Don't really rely on it. So hopefully it doesn't really affect his game a whole bunch. But he is going to be a little step slower. His quickness is not going to be there because once you lose that Achilles, ask my dog Kobe Bryant, RIP to him. The quickness and the burst was gone. That's one of the worst injuries, if not the worst injury you can sustain in all the sports. I don't care what sport it is. Football, basketball, soccer, baseball, hockey. It don't matter. Once that Achilles goes, you're not the same player after that. And it's been more times than not. A lot of guys have not came back from a torn Achilles better than what they was before, or even just remotely close. So that's going to be the biggest one right there. And then tonight also is the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. Who knows what's going to happen? Who does? But I know this offseason is going to be a very interesting offseason. Kevin Durant's going to be on the move. Giannis Antetokounmpo most likely is going to be on the move. Who knows? Ja Morant could be on the move. Zion Williamson could be on the move. This is going to be a very interesting offseason. The NBA salary cap are going up. The Cooper Flag sweepstakes is going to be very key depending on what team he goes for. See if he's going to go to a team that they're going to build around, or or a playoff team may draft him. Use that as trade capital, leverage that, and go ship him somewhere else. Or hell, maybe keep him. But most likely, if a contender drafts Cooper Flag, they're going to trade him to another team, or a team is going to want to trade up in that spot and give up some capital as far as players and draft pick to get there. So who knows how this is going to turn out? Let me know in the comment section where y'all think Giannis Antetokounmpo should go. I think the best fit for him is the San Antonio Spurs. I think it makes the most sense. I think it's the best fit for him. And also, you ain't got to worry about the federal tax, my boy, the state tax. Not federal, state tax. You ain't got to worry about that. And also, you got a promising big man in Victor Wembanyama, who will one day be the best big man in the game. De'Aaron Fox, who is literally one of the best point guards we have in the game today. A guy that can easily give you 20 and 8 a night. Hell, even 23, 8, 9, and 10 a night. So Who knows how that's going to go? But like I said, the San Antonio Spurs, to me, are the best fit for him. The Milwaukee Bucks need draft capital and good players that are ready to play right now. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Like the video. Don't forget to don't forget to turn on notifications. And boy, this is only Domino 1. Domino 1.